Everybody keeps asking me how to learn two languages at once, and it seems to be really the biggest issue in the language learning world, because everybody wants to save time and learn two languages at once and not just kill the time with one language. That's boring, right? Well, actually, the answer to the question whether it's possible to learn two languages at once is definitely yes. There is no problem with your brain, no problem with your memory or anything, languages mixing up. I would say if you are not learning two very similar languages and they are not both on the same beginner level, for example, if you wanted to learn Spanish and Italian, that would mess you up, okay? But if you're not doing that, if it's two very different languages, you can learn them both at the same time. It's no problem. But I would definitely not recommend it. The thing is, I think that when we learn a language, the most important thing maybe, or one thing that really affects us a lot, is our own motivation to learn. And nothing motivates us more than our own success in the language learning. That's why if you have a fast achievement in the language, if you can learn something very quickly, you feel really motivated to continue, right? But if it takes you ages and it takes you 2 years before you can say anything, that's terrible. No one wants to learn a language like that, and that's when you feel demotivated. And this is the reason why I always recommend to only learn one language at once, concentrate on it fully, and try to give it as much time as possible, because that's when the language will grow more quickly, and you will feel much better about yourself, about your own learning, and you will want to learn on, because you will see the results, right? And that's why I really recommend to people to only pick one language which they concentrate on in the period of 2 or 3 months. And in this period, if you want to keep up with the other languages that you have learned before, you can, but I will only recommend to give it 20% of your time, learning time. So 80% will be given to the main language which you want to focus on right now, and 20% will be given to the other language where you can just maybe watch some series or maybe have a conversation with someone once every 2 weeks, or read a book or something, you know, like in a passive state, which is perfectly fine for the 20%. But the main language you want to focus on is one where you will combine methods to make sure that you read something in it, listen to something in it, speak it, write it, just be, you know, with the language as much as possible. And this is when you will really feel a great improvement, and you will just want to learn it because you will have the success, and that will motivate you on. So, to sum it up, it is definitely possible to learn two languages at once, but don't do it, because you will just divide your time that you have available to learn a language to two different languages, and you will grow slowly in both of them. Instead, focus your time for 2 or 3 months on one language, boost it as much as possible, and in 2 or 3 months you can switch. You know, you can move on to the other language, maybe try to boost it up a little bit more and keep the other one for 20% only. It's up to you. I personally recommend to do this for at least half a year, but I know people have very different learning styles, so it's totally up to you how you do it. Just make sure you focus on one language, okay?